Today we'll be working in my workbook called Opening a Window into the Psalms, which is on Psalms 1 through 21. Normally, if I'm working on the first Psalm of my books, I will go over this in detail. But in this case, since it's not the first Psalm of this book, you may stop the video if you'd like and read this. This is General Study on Psalms. This is separating the Psalm into groups. The musical nature of the Psalms, and we go over these words when they show up in the Psalms. Then the poetic features of the Psalms, which we will go over these as we hit them in the Psalms as well. Now in the table of contents, we are now going to do verse 17. And so let's go ahead and go there. In the shadow of your wings, this must have 15 verses. And so this is the first set of verses. Hear me, Lord, my plea is just. Listen to my cry, hear my prayer. It does not rise from deceitful lips. Let my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what is right. Though you probe my heart, though you examine me at night and test me, you will find that I've planned no evil. My mouth is not transgressed. Though people try to bribe me, I have kept myself from the ways of the violent, through what your lips have commanded. My steps have held to your paths, my feet have not stumbled. I call on you, my God, for you will answer me. Turn your ear to me and hear my prayer. Show me the wonders of your great love, you who save by your right hand those who take refuge in you from their foes. So, again, like all the Psalms, I give you some general commentary about the Psalms. As I've mentioned many times before, there is many commentators that have a different opinion about the Psalms as there are Psalms or more. And so I've just picked a selection of them to give you. It is part of the first book of Psalms. That is not in dispute. According to the NIV Study Bible, Psalm 17 is grouped in Psalms 15 through 24, where the Psalms 15 and 24 frame a cluster of Psalms that have been arranged in concentric pattern, with Psalm 19 serving as the hinge. There are thematic links between Psalm 16 and 23, 17 and 22, 18 and 20, 21. Psalm 17 is a plea of deliverance from foes. According to Jamieson, Fausset, and Brown, Psalm 17 is considered a devotional psalm with a desire for help. It is also a psalm about good and evil people. The narrated Bible in chronological order says that Psalm 17 is a psalm about a troubled soul. Although Thomas Nelson's Chronology Bible places the psalm at the end of David's life, and the Blue Letter Bible places it around 1 Samuel 22:19, when the priests were murdered by Doeg in 1016 BC, I believe that Pastor David Gusick places it in the correct place at 1 Samuel 24, 8 through 15, when David confronts Saul after cutting a piece off his robe. It is a prayer of David, so he's the author. Psalm 17 has 3 sections. Some say a simple chiastic structure, A, E, A. The first section is an appeal to God with declaration of faithfulness, and that's verses 1 through 5 here. Okay. The second section is a plea for protection and deliverance, verses 6 through 9. I don't think I have all the verses here right. And the last section is description of enemies and a confidence in God. So that's what I see the sections are. So let's go to now the understanding of it. So the first section is an appeal to God with a declaration of faithfulness. That is verses 1 through 5. Let's go ahead and read those again. Hear me, Lord, my plea is just. Listen to my cry. Hear my prayer. It does not rise from deceitful lips. Let my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what is right. Though you may probe my heart, though you examine me at night and test me, you will find that I have planned no evil. My mouth is not transgressed. Though people try to bribe me, I have kept myself from the ways of violence, through what your lips have commanded. My steps have held to your paths, my feet have not stumbled. In the first verse of the psalm, David uses repetition and synonymous parallelism to reinforce his idea. A, hear me, Lord. Listen to my cry, parallel. hear my prayer. Another parallel. In verse 1, David makes two declarations of his faithfulness. They are, my plea is just. My plea does not rise from deceitful lips. In verse 2, David says, let my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what is right. The word vindication means shown to be right after someone has accused you of being wrong. We see this word in the scripture that Pastor David Gusick believes is when David wrote his psalm. Psalm 1 Samuel 24, 8 through 15. Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, my lord the king. When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, why do you listen when men say David is bent on harming you? This day you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord delivered you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to kill you, but I spared you. I said, I will not lay a hand on my Lord, because he's the Lord's anointed. See, my father, look at this piece of robe in my hand. I cut off the corner of your robe, but did not kill you. See, there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I'm guilty of wrongdoing or rebellion. I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me. And may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me, but my hand will not touch you. As the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you. Against whom has the king of Israel come out? Who are you pursuing? A dead dog? A flea? May the Lord be our judge and decide between us. May he consider my cause and uphold it. May he vindicate me by delivering me from your hand. This scripture is an excellent backdrop when we consider the balance of the scriptures in this section. In verses 2 through 5, David writes that the Lord will be able to verify that his plea is just by examining David. And I could go over these scriptures, but I think we go over them in A through G. Though you probe my heart, though you examine me at night and test me, you will find that I have planned no evil. My mouth has not transgressed. I have kept myself from the ways of the violent. My steps have held to your paths. My feet have not stumbled. What is the first part of verse 4? Though people tried to bribe me. Although we don't have a clear sense of attempted bribery of David in the Bible, we do see his friends trying to persuade him to do something that he shouldn't just before this story. 1 Samuel 24, 3 through 4. Saul came into the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in. David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, this is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish. Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe. David also uses various body parts to tell the story. Although this is throughout the psalm, we will just consider verses 1 through 5 for now, which is on the next page. It does not rise from deceitful. Does not rise from deceitful. Yeah. Okay, this is the next half of the verse. Maybe we need to come up here. It does not rise from deceitful lips. May your eyes see what is right. Though you probe my heart, my mouth is not transgressed. Through what your lips have commanded, my feet have not stumbled. Sorry about moving back and forth there. I figured some of this better in the next books. The second section is a plea for protection and deliverance, Psalms 6 through 9. So I guess we're going to have to go back and forth here too. Verse 6 is in a synonymous parallel to what verse in the prior section? Okay, verse 6. I'll call on you, my God, for you will answer me. Turn your ear to me and hear my prayer. Verse 1, same style. David calls for action from God towards him in these verses 6 through 9. Let's see. You will answer me. Turn your ear to me and hear my prayer. Show me the wonders of your great love. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Maybe that's up here. Yeah, keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Notice again the body parts used in this section to strengthen his plea. Turn your, let me make sure it's out there, ear to me and hear my prayer. You who save by your right hand, right? Keep me as an apple of your eye. Okay. In verse 8, David uses poetic exaggeration to convey a thought, as we know no one, including God, has an apple in their eye, nor is God a bird that has wings. It is very possible that David had Deuteronomy 32 on his mind when he wrote the words. Deuteronomy 32, 9 through 12. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob had allowed inheritance. In a desert he found him, in a barren and howling waste. He shielded him and cared for him. He guarded him as the apple of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up its nest and hovers over its young, that spreads its wings to catch them and carry them aloft. The Lord alone led him. No foreign God was with him. In verse 9, David talks about the wicked and mortal enemies out to destroy him. Look back again at 1 Samuel 24 on page 114, 15. Who is out to destroy David? Saul. So the third section is description of his enemies and a confidence in God. So let's go ahead and read. We'll read 8 through 15. Keep me as an apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. From the wicked who are out to destroy me, from my mortal enemies who surround me. They close up their callous hearts, and their mouths speak with arrogance. They have tracked me down. They now surround me, with eyes alert to throw me to the ground. They are like a lion hungry for prey, like a fierce lion crouching in cover. Rise up, Lord, confront them and bring them down. With your sword, rescue me from the wicked. By your hand, save me from such people, Lord. For those of this world whose reward is in this life, may what you have stored up for the wicked fill their bellies. May their children gorge themselves on it. May there be leftovers for their little ones. As for me, I'll be vindicated and will see your face. When I awake, I'll be satisfied with seeing your likeness. A description of his enemies and a confidence in God. Now we get to his enemies. David is very descriptive of what his enemies are doing in this psalm. Although most of it is in verse 10 through 14, there were a few descriptions in prior verses. Verse 4, people tried to bribe me. Verse 9, the wicked are out to destroy me. Oh, I got that already. Verse 9, my mortal enemies who surround me. They have tracked me down. They now surround me to throw me to the ground. They are like a lion hungry for prey. They are like a fierce lion crouching in cover. Verses 13 and 14 are what is known as an imprecatory prayer. This type of prayer is in which the writer makes requests or invocations for God to bring judgment, calamity, or curses upon one's enemies, or those perceived as enemies of God. It is easy to see when David asks for vengeance. These words are, rise up, Lord, confront them, bring them down. May what you've stored up for the wicked fill their bellies. May their children gorge themselves on it. May there be leftovers for their little ones. Although the above is rather gruesome, we have several instances in David's life that are full of anguish, like when all the priests were killed that showed kindness to him in 1 Samuel 22, 7 through 21, or when all the families of he and his warriors were taken captive by his enemy in 1 Samuel 30, 1 through 5. David continues to use body parts in the balance of his psalm to make his plea. In verses 10 through 15, we have the following. They close up their callous 10 through 15. Their callous hearts, their mouths speak with arrogance. They now surround me with eyes alert to throw me to the ground. By your hand, save me from such people, which you've stored up for the wicked, fill their bellies. I will be vindicated and will see your likeness. Okay. And see your face. Sorry, I knew that there was something better than that as far as responding to body parts. Okay, let's see here. Many commentators see verse 15 as talking about life after death. If sleep is a euphemism for death, how would this verse be talking about life after death? When I awake, that is, when I awake after being dead, I will be seeing your actual likeness. So he's talking about being dead and being able to see Jesus alive, or God alive. Many commentators see a loose, chaotic structure in the psalm, ABA. In the first part, Psalms 1 through 5, David is shown as righteous, whereas in the mirrored version, in verses 10 through 14, you see the wickedness of his enemies. The core or middle part is David's plea to protect him from his enemies, verses 6 through 9. How the psalm lives on. Psalm 17 is not quoted elsewhere in the Bible. The Jews use Psalm 17 as a Tehillim, which means prayer for the sick. And that's the end of this psalm. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye now.